Everybody, it's your boy Silencer, and welcome to
Silencer Talks. Let's get.
So I wanted to just come on here and I want to appreciate the guy Aiden. He's providing the Black Ops Royale gameplay for me today. His exclusive 50 kill solo versus quads for Black Ops Royale that just dropped last week. And I wanted to just come on here and give my impressions of the game mode. So let me move myself down here a little bit. Let me just say this. I want people to understand something. Give you guys some background on me. I have been playing Call of Duty my entire life. I've been playing Warzone since, I don't want to say since day one, because I was still an MP guy when Warzone came out. I wasn't a super fan of it, but about 6 months in, I started playing Warzone. Right now, currently, the highest I've ever gotten in ranked is Crim. Currently, I'm not really playing ranked right now. I think the highest I've gotten is gold. Because it's like everybody else, people have gotten sick of Warzone, all the things that's been going on and things like that, but that's neither here nor there. But my resurgence KD is at 3 right now, and I do decent. I'm not the greatest player in the world, and I'll never say that I'm the greatest player in the world, because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't give a shit. But Call of Duty has been my main game for the majority of the past 7 years. And then recently, everybody kind of just went over to Arc Raiders. But just to give you a little background on me. So I've played everything from Verdansk, Al Mazrah, all the Resurgence maps, Area 99, which was absolute trash, by the way. Rebirth, Haven's Hollow, Fortune's Keep, Ashika. I've been a part of the trend for a long time now. So I don't know if you even would think that I'm qualified to even speak on this or anything like that, but I feel like anybody has a qualification to speak on a game that they play and a game that they love. So let me put it to you guys like this. What is my thoughts on the Battle Royale, Black Ops Royale, aka Blackout 2.0? I do believe that this game has room for improvement. It's actually, to me, it's gas. I like this mode. There's nothing wrong with this mode. I have zero problem with this mode. I think that they have something here that's like, they caught some type of lightning in a bottle with this. And I feel like there's a lot that they could do with this game mode. So with that being said, I think the narrative around the entire community, especially in the times that we're living in now, is this: because of the low barrier of entry, there's no leveling up of guns. You don't need to, or anything like that. The Joe Schmo, the Joe six-pack guy should be able to come in this game and just play. And they should. But here's the thing. The thing is that if there are people who still don't have the experience of playing the game in general, they're not going to be as good. They're not going to do as well. And it's not their fault. It's like people who don't have time. Now, there are some people out there who don't have time but still are good at the game. And that's where the definition of casual comes in. What's a casual? What would be considered a casual? Especially with the implementation of casuals and all this other stuff that some people on Twitter would consider killing the game, and that this is not Call of Duty. There's something to be said about the fact that what people play the game for, right? Some people play the game like Aiden. Some people play the game for the sheer competition, and they thrive on being better and doing something that nobody can do. Just like with this gameplay here, he plays solo versus quads to drop as many kills as he can and win the game. And he can do that because he's that fucking good. And then there's other people who just play the game and they can't do it. And their reasons for trying to play the game are not the same as Aiden's. Not. So you always gonna have those sets of people that play the game for the competition, for the challenge, and then there's people who get on just to run with their boys, just to have a good time. So, question is, does Black Ops Royale fit the bill for a casual? I believe somewhat, not totally though, because at the end of the day, if you're experienced in the game and you can pick up a weapon and do work like Aiden can do, you're going to thrive in this game mode, because now there's nobody that's going to be using a meta weapon against you and complaining about the TTK of the meta weapon. It's, can you hit those shots? If you don't have a gunny, this mode is going to be a little bit challenging, because now you got to get upgrades, you got to use weapons that aren't built for a super efficiency. You get the upgrades help the gun, but they're not building the gun towards being super efficient. Now, as far as the debate between casuals being death of Call of Duty, and this is not what Call of Duty is, I need y'all to remember one thing. I need you guys to think about this. There's nothing in this world that stays the same. Nothing. Like, schools aren't the same. People aren't getting taught the same. Sports isn't even the same. The NBA isn't even the same. The NFL is the same. Everything evolves. Now, whether or not you agree with the evolution of these things means nothing. The people who run this shit, the ones who dictating what needs to be done for the game to be successful. Take for the NBA, change their rules because they saw the business accelerating with more offense. So what did they do? They destroyed defense. You can't touch nobody. The physicality is gone. And then does the NBA suck watching? To some? Yeah. The ones who love the competition. But you know what? Why did their go up? Their business went up. Now, in Call of Duty sense, I'm not saying that their business went up because of casuals being implemented in the game. But I will stick my neck out and say that Call of Duty would have been dead if Call of Duty didn't implement casuals. If there was no casuals, I didn't know you could do that. If there was no casuals, this game would be finito. It'd be over for them. Why? Because the landscape of gaming has changed. It's changed. This isn't 2012. This isn't even 2006. We live in a different era with different people doing different things and caring about different things. There's a new set of people out here. And understandably, understand this, when you run a business, the business has to thrive on new talent. All these guys, while the streamers and the pros are probably under 30, someone maybe over 30, but they're old enough to know what the original, the OG Call of Duties were doing. When it comes to the people who were there when everything was cool and everything was fresh, they're all older now. Like me, I played Call of Duty 4. I was there, jump. You feel me? I was there from the jump. And dudes is older, our care for whatever it is, the competition is done. So some people sit in a weird middle spot where it's like they remember the old, but are sitting in the transition. Unfortunately, this might be where it's going. Casuals being in the game is where it's going. You see, Fortnite already had this in it. Fortnite already had bots in their regular matches. And you know what? They did it to appeal to a wider audience. And everybody that's fighting back on Call of Duty doing it, well, I always say, well, do you want Call of Duty to die? If you want Call of Duty to die, then take casuals out. And die as in, there's going to be nobody else but pro players and try-hard players. We'll get into that in a second. But sweaty players are going to be the ones who are playing the game. And we already know what that's going to do. Everybody's going to complain that there's too many sweats. There's not enough bots in the game. People who don't know what they're doing. And before, oh, well, if I sucked at the game, I just took time to get better. Ain't nobody got time for that. You see what's going on today. We're in the middle of a war. People have to work 2 jobs just to afford shit. We're all not sitting here being streamers and getting thousands of dollars upon thousands of dollars a day to stream a game. There's people that can play the game, who work full time, have kids and stuff like that. Not everybody can do that. So to think that, oh, you could find one person that can do it, why can't everybody else do it? Everybody's not built the same. So I just want everybody to take a step back and take a look. Be realistic with yourselves, because this isn't, everybody's thinking real selfishly right now. Everybody always thinks about themselves. They never think about the big picture. Do I agree with MTX and all this? No, I do not. But when you run in a live service game and you have to have people who run this shit 24/7, how you gonna pay them? So you gotta find ways to make money. Everybody feels like they have the answers for this, but they're not inside the trenches. They're not inside the meetings and the walls where people make these decisions. And I'm not sitting here trying to cape for Call of Duty. I don't give a fuck about this game. It's a game at the end of the day. I have no allegiances to them, but come on, people are people. I work at a job where people get treated sometimes like they're robots. And I feel like people who play Call of Duty and they come at the devs, they come at the studios, they treat them like they're robots. Oh, we need new content every 2 weeks. Them saying that without actually knowing how long it takes to make the content, especially when they do the content a year or 2 years in advance, and this is what they come up with. How long do you think it takes for them to make content for this game? And then they got to pay those people to make the content. And if those people are already overworked, y'all want to overwork them more to make content for you. It's another story for another day. But back to the subject at hand, the fact of Battle Royale or Black Ops Royale, is this game good for casuals? I would think that it's not good for them. I'll say it's not good for them. Because like I said, if you don't got the gunny, you're not really going to be successful. But it will all come down to why you're playing the game. Everybody's why isn't the same, right? So if somebody's playing this game and their why for playing the game is just to run around, have fun with their buddies, and shoot a couple people and make their own little participation trophy out of it, cool. What problem is that? You can look at it as soft as you want, but I'm looking at it as the survival of the game depends on how people feel about it. And if you got this thing going on where it's like, well, the game itself isn't the same Call of Duty as before, and that's what's killing the game. No, bro, no. Now, if I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, you have to look at it in these other ways to try to make sense of it. Because these people are making these decisions for a reason. And some people don't get it, or they don't want to understand it. And this is as simple as I can make it to round this out. If you don't like the game, you don't play it. You feel me? Like, the people who play the game, who still play the game after they hate the game, they don't hate the game. They just don't like the way it's making them feel, right? The whole cater to casuals thing. Unfortunately, and I don't understand why people don't think that this is true, there's more casuals than not. And the way it's going, if you take casuals out, then there's going to be more sweats than there are casuals. And then everybody will be like, well, the game is dying because, yeah, good. That's what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted the game to be a certain way. Well, guess what? That kills it for the casuals. So I think everybody needs to pick a side, sit on it, and enjoy the game for what you want it to be. If you want it to be a challenge, cool. If you don't want it to be a challenge, cool. If you want to just vibe with your boys and shit like that, I think that's admirable. But at the end of the day, the shit's gonna go the way it goes, and business is business. So that's all I got for today on this. Shout out to Aiden for the 51 bomb. And I will check y'all out on the next one. Subscribe. Give me a comment. How do you feel about Black Ops Royale? How you feel about casuals? And how do you feel about the overall presentation of the game? All right. See you on the next one.